And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem and the Crypto, episode 729. Today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish. In today's top stories, Biden administration is reportedly reviewing gaps in crypto regulation. Nebraska signs law to authorize state-chartered banks to custody crypto. Mark Cuban officially backs Polygon. Michael Saylor says Bitcoin Mining Council required to combat hostile narrative. And GameStop is hiring for new NFT platform on Ethereum. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So taking a look at our prices for today, Bitcoin coming in today at $39,054, up 3.8%. Ethereum at $2,732, up 7.4%. Binance Coin at $363 is up 11.8%. Cardano at 171 is up 12.8% today. XRP pushing towards $1 at 99 cents is up 5.8%. Dogecoin at 34 cents is up 0.4%. Polkadot at 22.59 is up 6.4%. And last but not least, Internet Computer at $134 is down 0.3% for today. So our top 10 pretty much the same. A lot of movement in Binance and Cardano today. A lot of green across the board.
Yep, there you go. The crypto market didn't die after all, people. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We went through another dip together. There we go.
That 2 week bear market was brutal.
Right? What's going on, Khalifa Wright, Lyle Gibson, Kevin Cummings, Too Much for You, okay, Antonio, Blues Lover, Wendy Thomas, Ali Pio Rodriguez, Tony Cordell, For Sure Entertainment, Justin Redrick, what's going on, Bitcoin Vegan, Daytrick Williams. And you all don't know Bitcoin Vegan yet, make sure you check him out. He is part of the Black Bitcoin Billionaires group, as well as been in Bitcoin for forever. He's helping us back in 2017 when we got rolling on some of our altcoins we buy. So make sure you give a shout out to Justin Redrick in the chat. What's going on, Chemo and Crypto, Fanteezy, Fonzo Clark, Sergeant Mac, Jiu-Jitsu, Crypto, Erica K, P-Man Van. Justin Redrick said this isn't 2017. Hilarious. What's going on, Timothy Grigsby? Let's see, Jams, Jessen, Shannon Allenson, the Bane Boys. They don't know darkness. Exactly. And if you're watching today on YouTube, if you haven't already, in that chat box and that blue link, again, please fill out that survey for us so we can make sure we get our podcast going as far as those sponsors on there. If you're listening to us, that survey is under survey.libsynlisbon.com/KRBE crypto, KRBE crypto. So you can check that out there. All right, top story of the day. If you ain't vote for them, you ain't black, right?
I don't want to hear another black person tell me about Biden ever again in their life. Ever. Don't ever mention him to me.
Oh, Jim Crow Biden. Got your ass. Got him. He said, I'm pulling money from everywhere to pay back the American people, or at least those who don't want to go back to work, right? I think the ongoing meme in Los Angeles right now is we sure take some mean tweets and some cheap gas about now. Bro, gas like $4.90 where I'm at. It's crazy. Biden is on a tear right now. White House officials are believed to be examining existing rules around cryptocurrencies and whether new restrictions are needed to protect investors from massive drawdowns like we saw last week. What have we told you all about regulators protecting investors? They don't care about you, like at all. Let me actually just take this off the article real quick to make sure for the people in the back who still love to lick them boots and Ned Flanders and all that good stuff. If you're poor, America don't really care about you. If you can't vote or if you don't vote, America don't really care about you. If you poor and your vote don't count, America really don't care about you. So what makes you think all of a sudden they want to protect investors? Like, I am telling you, as long as we've been in this space, the last thing they care about doing is protecting a retail investor. That makes like no sense to America and what we do as capitalists. So again, officials within the Biden administration are reportedly studying gaps, as they call it, gaps in cryptocurrency regulations following the latest bout of volatility in the market, sending a signal that new rules could soon be proposed. Another thing I want to point out, the only time regulators want to regulate in this market is when the money is messed up. It's either when the money's being made or all of a sudden it's a big dip. And this big dip, you shouldn't have been surprised about. We've been talking about it for forever. I keep talking about the dip that's going to come at 100K. It's going to be even crazier dip. Like the dips are going to come, people. It's healthy retracements. They're not gaps in crypto regulations. But again, this is Biden's White House right now. They're talking about the panic attack, or triggered a panic wave of selling, as they said last week. This formed a new proposal from the United States Treasury that will require cryptocurrency holders to report all transfers above 10,000 to the IRS, as well as a few other regulatory gaps they're trying to fill. What else is going on with this craziness out the White House?
Oh yeah, so good old Biden had to send out the mafia to go collect because apparently it's too many people making money. So they doubled the amount of IRS agents. They've been discussing that there's quote unquote gaps in regulation. Those gaps will never be filled simply because as soon as you try to fill one, crypto's too fast. It's going to move to something else. And one of the biggest things that I've seen in this industry is that because we move very fast, tech moves fast, and bureaucracy is very slow, stories like this are going to constantly come out. They're 2, 3, 4, 5 years late on a lot of things, just because they have to pass it to somebody who has to get it approved by somebody else, who has to get it approved by another group. And it's like, that takes way too much. 17-year-old could just jump on the computer, create a cryptocurrency and go. That's how quick things are happening. And in my opinion, good old Biden's supporters at this point, especially because they've targeted Black people so much. If you're not Black, you're not Black if you don't vote for Biden. What's going to happen when Black people say Bitcoin versus Biden? Who do you choose? And that's what the battle is going to be over the next year or two. Because it's going to be like, do you want to listen to what Biden's saying? The same dude who said, I'm not doing anything for Black people, but he did stuff for Asians and he did stuff for the trans community. Are you going to listen to that? Or are you going to listen to the people in Bitcoin telling you that you can have a money system that doesn't need a leader like Sleepy Joe, who's falling asleep every time he has a speech? And really, he's just a patsy for Kamala to come in next time. I mean, come on, man. But honestly, from a money standpoint, them trying to regulate it is not going to work. And long term, this is just the fight that we have to go through. This regulation stuff is ridiculous.
You know what? This kind of goes on to the story with Michael Saylor. So I kind of get to that, but I'm glad Bitcoin already had its internal war. And it's funny because they're coming in thinking we're going to have a second one. It's like, we already had an internal war. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I mentioned that because if we hadn't already had that war, like things like this would really put us off our trajectory. But I'm with you. I mean, for one, they already said one of the reasons why they're starting to up taxes everywhere is so Joe Biden can pay for this whatever plan that he has long term. I don't know what it is, but regardless, like targeting the cryptocurrency community is not the way to do it. Again, there hasn't been any protections for the community. I don't see. They never talk about actual protections. They talk about ways to take more money, to take more crypto. I just want to make sure we point that out.
Yeah, are you going to help me when I lose 80%?
Right.
On Come Rocket? You gonna repay me back that crypto? No. So what are you even talking about?
I never actually see real protections coming from them. They just, as you always say, word soup. But again, this is crazy to see that, you know, literally in the last administration, they wouldn't even utter the words Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And now they're actually acknowledging it in this administration. So that's pretty interesting to see. Want to give a shout out to Only the Real Estate. Thank you for the tips. They love the channel, fellas. Thank you. As well as Crypto and Culture Facts. Thank you for the tip as well. Ooh, yes, this is crazy. Jam Justin said, when I see stories mention terrorists and America in the same sentence, I stop reading. They act like we don't know their tactics by now. Next thing, Vitalik got weapons of mass destruction. I can see that now. And I was laughing as well because who was it that came in and said, oh, S1 Dub said, what's up, Crypto King and Resort Zay? I like Resort Zay. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said, is that a beer?
Mm-hmm. I'm on vacation. Celebrate early.
Wes says, is that a beer?
Ain't no time in Barbados. Yeah, it's a beer.
It's a time in America. All right, that's what's up. That's what I was about to say. Have you not seen some of our morning shows?
Yeah.
You think we be just lit naturally some days? No, I was playing. Actually, I'm not. Heavy Productions, what's going on? Thank you for the tip. Good morning, world. They have a lottery for people who took the shot in 4 states now. When did America KKK start rewarding you for being a good citizen? That's my point, people. Like, we do not give, like, we're not a giving country as far as when it actually comes to capital. We'll throw out some turkeys on Thanksgiving, but we're not actually giving out bags of money, right? So again, I'm not believing the Biden administration is here to protect crypto investors for massive drawdowns. I think it's actually going to be complete opposite. This is the honeypot to see where the crypto is hiding, and so that they can get their hands on it. So it's crazy to see this happening, but it's happening.
Hey man, just a quick quote. Any person that gives up their freedom for security deserves neither. So remember that when they say they want to help secure you.
Boom, there it is. And again, my question to all this is as well, always, who is pushing, like who is putting the battery in his pack for this? Like who is saying go after crypto? This is crazy to me. This is crazy because I thought this was a democracy. No one's asking for this. They're doing it. Well, I would assume some of these banks and billionaires are asking for it, but I'm not hearing, I didn't hear a lot of retail investors go on Twitter last week and say, why can't we have more regulation to protect us from dips? Like no one said, everyone said it was, I mean, no one liked the dip. It sucked. Some people had weak hands and sold. Some people lost a lot, but I didn't see an outpouring on Reddit, on Twitter, on the Bitcoin forum. I didn't see an outpouring of where is the regulation to stop these dips? Because how is regulation even going to stop dips unless you manipulate the market? I'm not even understanding how that's possible for them to stop a dip in a global currency unless they start to manipulate the market. I'm not understanding how this is possible unless they manipulate the market. I'm going to keep saying it because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, they're trying to with this environmental garbage.
Oh man, it's crazy. All right, Nebraska signs law to authorize state chartered banks to custody crypto. And it's crazy. Like people, I've already told you Bitcoin Zay has the stories. I've been out with him. He's been out with me when we try to use our debit cards or some type of banking card and it just doesn't work all of a sudden. And they're just literally messing with us, turning our cards off because we're making crypto transactions. Or when I first came back from deployment, I mean, I'm literally hot off the plane, hot off the boat, a week back at home, and Bank of America is sitting me down in their office like a child to ask me why I spent my money to buy cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, after I just got off deployment. And what is it? 4 or 5 years later, here we go. Biden wants to tax it and take it. And Nebraska saying, hey, you can keep it in your bank. This is amazing. What's going on with this story?
Oh, yeah. So first things first, banks. This is the only banks I fuck with right here.
Hey.
In the Nebraska law, a crypto-friendly bill was co-authored by cryptocurrency firm Tailcoin and first introduced by Republican State Senator Mike Flood this January. And I do want to point out, this may get a little sticky because traditionally, a lot of people have said that the Republican Party is bad, they're racist, whatever you say about them. Those are the only ones that are putting out these crypto bills. So that's why I don't get into politics, because it's about money at the end of the day. So I just want to point that out. But there's another Republican senator.
One thing I got to add to that too, and that's why I kept kind of droning on the first story because I forgot one of the last points I was going to make. And that was it. I think we actually said it live on the show before. I think we said it live on a few shows before back in was it like kind of last year for the most part, some in 2017. But people, when Trump was in office, whether you personally how you feel about him, when it came to cryptocurrency and small businesses, it was like, I'm telling you, it was wide open. All right. Like,
that's why I don't get
the reason why he wasn't mentioning Bitcoin. He did not mention Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for a reason also. Like it was wide open. There was no, we're trying to do this, that, and the other. Like we were literally just operating with the exception of New York, of course. So I just want to throw that in there as well.
Oh yeah. And the Nebraska Financial Innovation Act was one of Senator Mike Flood's first initiatives, introduced scarcely 2 weeks after being sworn in office. So he didn't waste any time. He got in and went straight to it. Republican lawmakers outnumbered Democrats 2-1 in the state. And the numbers for this week's final vote were 46-2, overwhelming win. It was signed into law as Legislative Bill 647. That means that financial institutions, banks, building, and loan associations can operate digital asset depository businesses, right? And we've always said that the ethos of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is to be self-sovereign, to own it yourself. However, there are a bunch of Ned Flanders and hall monitors who do not really want to have their own control of their money. So they're going to use services like this. If it's going to happen, then in places like Wyoming, in places like Nebraska, states that have been overlooked traditionally, they may be able to make a great amount of money with blockchain companies showing up, with taking deposits in Bitcoin. And it's a lot of older people that don't understand Bitcoin. So they'll say, hey, it's at the bank, so it must be valid. So kudos to them for that. But again, it is crazy that at one point, banks were the ones that were supposed to be accepted by us. But again, like I said before, banks are not accepting Bitcoin. Bitcoin is accepting banks. And they're trying to get on the wave simply because they understand what's coming. So shout out to Tailcoin for getting that done. And while we are not very political, it is good to see there are lawmakers who understand where we're going and these bills coming out. Shout out to Mike Flood.
Yeah, and again, I'm happy to see this, but like I said, people, I have to be the that guy in the room that still says, you know, as good as to see, you know, this stuff adopted into bills and law, like, no, it's a slippery slope. Because as soon as you agree to this, when you say, yes, thank you for signing this into the bill, Nebraska Banks Charter, then all of a sudden they can also say, all right, from now on, all your crypto needs to be held in the bank. No, you said yes to the first bill. Ain't no saying no to the second now. Like, what do you think this is? So that is my point about the first bill to begin with. Like, the government doesn't play this 2-year, 3-year game. We always say it. It's a 20-year, 50-year game. And what they do is every 2 or 3 years, we're just going to take a little bit more. Every 4 years, every administration will blame it on the next guy and we'll take a little bit more, or the next woman at this point. So I disagree with, I know we had guests on here say, you know, hey, I'm for good regulation. Like, no, I'm for self-regulation of anything, right? And we'll talk about that self-regulation with Michael Saylor in a moment. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of seeing this, only because it's a slippery slope and it's good while it's good and everybody's hee-hawing with it. But the minute it turns against you, it's going to turn. And then also with that, my thing is this: why can't we have it both ways? It's so crazy. Like, we're still in this old mindset of all the country has to do this or all the country has to do that. It's like, no, this provide benefits, like plus and minuses with things. Maybe a person doesn't want to share any of their cryptocurrency information with the government, period. Maybe there's cons to go along with that. And for the people who do share that information, let's say, hey, I share my cryptocurrency information with you. I pay my taxes in crypto. I keep it in your chartered custody banks. Maybe I can get a 5 to 7% APR on it from the government, right? Maybe it's FDIC insured or something. Who knows? Yeah. But the fact that they're trying to make everybody do this is crazy. All right, Mark Cuban is back in the news. Looks like he wants to be on the right side of history. You know, Mark, he's always looking for the next Bitcoin since he compared the first one to bananas. But the Ethereum-based scaling solution recently appeared on the Mark Cuban company's website, seemingly affirming his investment in the project Polygon. That is right. Mark Cuban officially backs Polygon. Looks like the addition of Polygon to Mark Cuban company's website appears to have been made recently and reaffirms the billionaire's backing of the project. People, how many weeks have we been talking about Polygon now? And I know some people have even been talking about it since the beginning of this year. So it's crazy to see Mark Cuban actually join in on the fun. What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. So Mark Cuban, he was one of the people that I've seen on Twitter get reached out to by Polygon. It states here, Cuban, who was once a polarizing figure in the crypto market, he's acknowledged that cryptocurrencies are beginning to reflect real demand for their utility. So, of course, he's trying to jump on it. Having more TPS and lower gas fees is not enough, he wrote. There must be
when you get finished, just look at what he can do for Polygon. That was hilarious, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. There must be a current network effect and significant user growth. This is a challenge for most layer 1 and layer 2s because, with few exceptions, marketing in the crypto universe is beyond awful. I will agree with him there. But Polygon is touted as a multi-chain scaling solution designed to make Ether-based transactions more efficient. And again, getting the backing from a billionaire does bode well for their bragging rights. However, if they, in my opinion, haven't done anything product-wise, then we can't really regard it as something as powerful. But it has, like I said, it has grown in value, and Mark Cuban backs it, but he also backed Dogecoin. So I think there's something there with Polygon with scaling Ethereum. People like it because Ethereum gas fees are ridiculous. So they're looking at layer 2 solutions like Polygon. And this can only help them because, again, when you start a currency or starting a project from scratch, the best you can do marketing wise is have a billionaire shout you out.
Yeah, this is all bragging rights. I'm kind of with you on that. And this was a marketing play. I mean, I wonder how much he either got paid for it, how much he invested in after this. It's like money was exchanged. Something was exchanged of value because in terms of what Mark Cuban companies brings to Polygon, the billionaire investor said, I can give them feedback on marketing. Like, what? I can give them feedback on marketing, and we are in the process of integrating Polygon into lazy.com, which we think will be very beneficial to creating a platform to extend NFTs and personal galleries. All right, first, I got to be honest, I don't even know what lazy.com is. I haven't checked it out, but I will check it out. And again, no offense to Mark Cuban, because if it was I'll speak for myself personally. I think Mark Cuban could give me amazing business advice, right? But this is our point when it comes to the cryptocurrency ecosystem, people. The best you can offer this project that's already off the ground that people are doing is marketing. Now, marketing is super important. I think having a billionaire in your team would definitely help the marketing as well. But when it comes to the actual project, it does nothing. It does nothing. You build a community at this point of probably more retail investors and unfortunately uneducated investors, because the people who are following him are also following him in his Dogecoin moves. But again, Chief Operations Officer of Polygon also described the conversations with Cuban as, quote, truly mind-blowing, adding, it was so spectacular to know that the nuances of the industry, the tech, and adoption we have figured out after months of the grind. He was already thinking about those and had those questions in mind. Again, I think, hey, listen, I think they're just trying to get their billionaire boy a pat on the back. He's in turn getting them a pat right back on the back and sharing Polygon out to all his followers. So yeah, with this adoption, I think this probably won't be the first billionaire that they get. And yeah, we might see the price of Polygon start to continue, or I guess continue to go off the rails. The only thing to think about though, people, is once the Ethereum update happens in July, will Polygon still be necessary? How will it work and according to the Ethereum network? So remains to be seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, if for layer 2 I got to buy another token in order to get a cheaper fee, that's just way too many steps. Especially when we got Lightning Network. You can set up a Lightning channel before this show is over, and then you can send Bitcoin the same way, at faster and cheaper. So layer 2 solutions that have another coin on top of it is just extra, man.
Whoa, hold on now. You did not just talk about Bitcoin. You know what that layer 2 solution really is about right now? Making more money. How can we flip this? All right. Like I said, when that Ethereum upgrade come out, if you mess around and the gas fees go down to 30 cents, all these Ethereum killers are dead in the water that day. Like officially. On the flip side, though, if it comes out and it's not working that well, then
if Solana comes out.
Yeah, Solana might be the only one to last.
Well, I was gonna say, well, if Solana, Polkadot, some of these other ones kill Ethereum after Ethereum 2.0, then that could be the killer. Because I can tell you right now, POS, that piece of shit protocol, that is definitely not in the interest of decentralization. I mean, whoever has the most money makes the rules. That is not going to bode well just because you want it faster. And I know they're going to throw out there, Ethereum is better for the environment. I can already see it coming because banks are going to go to it. That's why the only banks I fuck with is right here.
You are a fool. On fire, as always. All right. Rhett One Con said, marketing is terrible in the crypto. You know what? This is a great comment too. I want to point that out. Rhett One Con. Marketing is terrible in crypto because crypto, specifically Bitcoin, doesn't need it. Marketing is just another form of intermediary propaganda. Thank you, Rhett. Like, you put it in words for me that I couldn't. That is what I was thinking in my head. We've said that on the show before. That's the thing, people. You see how we've done this show for years and we've enjoyed it because we were talking about Bitcoin and crypto, and we don't need to be paid in X, Y, and Z. We just do it because Bitcoin is actually a good technology. It doesn't need marketing. But when you start to get all this other stuff, well, we can do this. Or like Bitcoin, they said, we got this token on top of this token to make this cheaper. It's like, oh, so you need marketing. That simple. It's literally that. Thank you, Rhett, for that comment. It's that simple. Great projects. This is a technical space, people. If it works, it doesn't need marketing.
Yeah. I mean, how many people understand that you're probably using a Linux server right now? How many Linux commercials have you seen? You don't need it if you don't see Lamborghini commercials like that. You don't see really high price thing commercials. For a reason, it markets itself. If it's good, people will gravitate towards it.
Hooper J TV said the government has tricked us into thinking they're doing us a favor before. I know y'all remember the temporary income tax. They just want to find ways to have access to our money. You already know it. John James said Ponzi scheme is over. All you crypto tars gonna get wrecked.
Yeah,
hey, join us Friday and talk more about it for sure. Jay Hill said, who do you prefer as a crypto cheerleader? Mark Cuban or Elon Musk? I would say neither, honestly. Yeah. Dr. Crypto Knight, let's keep it real. Satoshi Nakamoto should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Crypto is surely a world changer. You know it. You know it. All right. Let's see. Michael Saylor says Bitcoin Mining Council required to combat. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the Nobel Peace Prize. I was going to say it's kind of watered down. I mean, after Obama won it, after bombing millions of people, kind of got watered down. Not much peace in that prize, but I understand what you're saying.
You're talking about Obama.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry you bought Obama plates and Obama t-shirts.
Listen, I was just about to say, I think I'm not sure my grandfather went that far, but I almost knocked over. It was somebody in my family. I almost knocked over one of the Obama plates on purpose. I ain't trying. Listen, he
Oh,
part of the gang too. Stop it, people.
I got an aunt that named her dog Obama and almost punted it off the bridge like Baxter and Anchorman.
Oh, all right. You did not bring up the dogs. All right, it's official. The cancel is in. The cancel is coming. This man.
Hey,
all right. Michael Saylor says Bitcoin Mining Council required to combat hostile narrative. It looks like Michael Saylor has provided more context on the Mining Council in hopes to combat the anti-crypto narrative of greater Bitcoin mining transparency. So it looks like, again, we're talking about this Bitcoin Mining Council that was formed on May 25th after Saylor brokered a successful meeting between Elon Musk and several top North American Bitcoin mining farms. The miners involved will provide current and planned renewable energy usage transparency and will lobby other mining operations across the globe to do so as well. And you can see here on this consensus by CoinDesk, he actually talks about it. I'm not going to play it and all, but he basically said, he was tweeting Elon Musk and he decided, let's get this off of Twitter and actually have a conversation and to do it. And then he also said, it turns out Bitcoin miners don't actually have a good forum for communicating how they generate their energy. We don't have a standard model for Bitcoin energy usage right now, and we don't have a future forecast model that we commonly use. And then, of course, he started. Everyone's talked about the 2017 New York Agreement, which we talked about on this show many times before, when a bunch of crypto companies came in the same room and they tried to fork Bitcoin off into basically its own private Bitcoin and still have ownership of it. So, of course, people brought up that closed door meeting. Saylor came back and said, hey, it wasn't a closed door meeting because we wouldn't have told millions of people about it the next day. But even though the New York Agreement, they didn't tell anybody and millions of people found out the next day anyway. Like, we're going to find out about this little mining council meeting, whether you told us or not. So I'm not even really paying attention to that. And then the last thing he really emphasized was, quote, we need to make sure the people that are hostile to Bitcoin and hostile to the crypto industry aren't defining those narratives and defining those models and defining those metrics. In the absence of any good information or any response on our part, they will define those models. This is the same argument for regulations right now in the regulatory space. Well, we don't have it, or nobody's doing it, then this, that, and other, then it gives reason for them to define regulation. It gives reason for them to do this. Two things. For one, I say no. Like, it was working well before, it's going to work well after. If a miner wants to do something with renewable energy, great. If they don't and they want to burn the environment down, then the environment shall burn. All right. Like, I don't care. So Michael Saylor, and also the second thing is he's talking about defining the narratives. That's you. You're doing it too with Elon Musk. You both combined have been in crypto for like 4 months, 6 months, 7 months or something. And you're talking about, or you're not even talking. You started a council. Talking would have been, hey, Twitter, hey, guys, I just got off the phone with Elon. We're thinking about starting this renewable mining council. What are your thoughts on Twitter? What are your thoughts on Reddit? Here are some polls. This is the way we're thinking about doing it. That is actually reaching out to the community for the narrative. You popping up the next day and saying, hey, I talked to Elon. We talked to the miners in North America. Yeah, we're going to go this way. No, that is not helping to define. That is you actually defining the narrative with the banksters, with the regulatory people. So I hope you're actually listening to this show today, or at least people actually tweet this out to you, because you are doing the exact same thing you're trying not to do. I get it. I understand what you're saying, why we need to have these models and do it. But also you need to understand with Bitcoin, you don't even need to have these models to do it. If it makes sense to have renewable energy and is cost efficient, then people will do it. If it doesn't, then Bitcoin will continue to be made. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin, Zay?
Oh, yeah. Man, I say let's just go back to the beginning. Let's ban ASIC mining while we're at it. All computers, all laptops. No ASIC mining, no big mining data centers. But again, that can't happen. And also this meeting, on one hand, they're trying to say we're trying to be more transparent, but it's only 10% of the mining power in the world. So the other 90%, if they don't report if they're not transparent, if they're not showing us renewable energy, then this is a moot point. Like, what are we even talking about? 10% of the mining is going to report that, oh, we use this type of energy and we're doing this to be efficient. Who gives a shit if the other 90% are doing whatever they want? And that's what I mean. You can't try to centralize around decentralization. That's sort of what is, like we said yesterday. Remember, he was saying there are people trying to take decentralization and then centralize that. That's what this meeting is to me. And they're trying to, you know, basically make up for it, because I saw one tweet that was great. They were like, so why was Elon even there? He's not even a miner.
Boom.
What was he there for? Why don't you?
Because he has money and he can influence people.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I was like, that is what we're trying to get Michael Saylor to understand. Is maybe you did it in good faith, but hey, the road to failure is lined with good intentions.
Boom.
So even if you wanted it to happen in a certain way, I can guarantee you this is just opening Pandora's box for more groups to get up and more councils to meet together and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Why are we? Who cares what these people think about the environment part of it? And in fact, I mean, let's just look at data, because again, I don't like arguing with people whenever they bring up these. Let's just look at the data. I mean, this is the global temperature from 1659 to 2009. Our CO2 emissions have gone up, and when it comes to environmental impact, even if they keep going up, temperature's still the same for 400 years. What are we even talking about? So when people talk about this being bad for the climate or this affecting something long term, I do not see that, and I don't think Bitcoin is even close to being a catalyst.
And again, Michael Saylor, if what you said was true, you wanted, you know, I saw someone said it might have been a slight miscalculation on Fumble the Face. Say I think it was a slight miscalculation on Saylor's part. Definitely was a miscalculation. If you wanted to be as open as you said, then you two should have had that shit on a live stream, on a YouTube live, like everyone else in the crypto space is doing. If it was that open, you should live stream it so we could all talk and be in the chat box and comments like, oh, we don't want to do this. Yes, we do want to do this. How about you include South America? Why is it just North America? You would have had input, but no, you all decided to do it in the back. Or as Deborah Doyle said, we had a meeting to tell you what we decided to do about your money. The BS is getting deep, right? That's what I'm saying. It is crazy. Like, again, so many ways you could have done this. Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, and I don't know, maybe Andreas Antonopoulos. Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, and I don't know, maybe Tracy Mayer. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people in the crypto space. Oh, I didn't even look at this. Young Ears actually said the same thing. Andreas Antonopoulos for the Nobel Prize for explaining Bitcoin to the masses. First person to put the technology into words most folks can understand. Exactly. So, again, you two, Michael Saylor and Elon Musk are the same things Bitcoin Zay and myself are, and that's holders.
Yeah.
Literally, literally, they're holding more and some bigger companies, but they're holders. We've been doing the same thing longer and in the different parts of the community. And that's just us two. I mean, you know, how many other people have we met in this space that are doing even more? So again, this is super short-sighted. I hope it wasn't intentional, but like you said, the road to what is paved with good intentions, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, we're going to be talking about GameStop. GameStop is in the news. Of course, we got to end on the good news story. GameStop is hiring for new NFT platform on Ethereum. What? Listen, I do appreciate the GameStop hype to save them because of what Wall Street was trying to just destroy them and kind of mess people's money up. I was all for that. But let's not forget who GameStop is either. GameStop's a piece of shit, people, for those who don't know out there, who's not in the gaming industry. GameStop has been a piece of shit for a long time. I mean, ever since the $60 video games came out back in 2004, 2005, whenever it was, they've been a piece of shit. When you found out you can buy a $60 video game and take it back to the store the next day, that bad boy be worth $6.50, okay? $6.50 if you're lucky. So I'm not even mad about the bankers actually wanting to kill them or Wall Street bets wanting to save them. But what are they doing here with this new NFT platform?
Oh, yeah. So GameStop is building a team for a non-fungible token platform based on Ethereum. They have created the ERC 721 standard token, which is used to create NFTs. And while the details of the planned platform are so far in short supply, a graphic stating power to the players, power to the creators, power to the collectors may suggest NFTs will be based on gaming. Now, again, GameStop is a piece of shit. They suck. You bring back something, like you just said, the next day they don't give you your money for it. However, again, if we have to choose between them doing something and the banking system, I'd rather go with GameStop because, again, we were smoking on that Melvin pack the other time because of GameStop. So, I mean, it is in all of good faith. But, again, we've said this before in the gaming world, when you can take an NFT and move it from game to game and actually own it because it's yours. That is to me is the ultimate goal of this NFT platform. So shout out to them. They may be doing it as sort of a virtue signal to try and get into the market, but again, marketing and they're a company, so I understand. But yes, GameStop is hiring for this. So if you are a developer, if you're trying to get into NFTs, you may be able to slide in with GameStop.
Boom, there it is. All right. Last few comments. Jams Jetson says, facts, the door was closed, talking about the meeting, and we heard about it after the fact. Now they acting like they invited us to play spades, knowing full damn well they don't care about us, right? That is funny. He like, wait, people found out about the meeting? All right, tell everybody now. Rick Jenkins, because young folks have learned to benefit financially with crypto, the establishment flexes their influence to satisfy their thirst for more, and yours, of course, is getting crazy. All right. Other than that, that is a show for today. I definitely have to run. It's getting already late. I got some stuff to do. Hey, you got anything Bitcoin say?
That's all for me. Just make sure you tune in tomorrow. Our interview with Cliff High. It's going to be the best show on YouTube ever. Just make sure you join in because again, this might go like 2 hours, man. Like this is definitely a legend, and we want to get all the information we can out of him. Yes,
tomorrow might be a long show for sure. So yeah, make sure you got some time put away. Cliff High interview. That's going to be super good. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, as always ish. But we'll probably be on the dot with this one. Other than that, make sure you fill out that survey at the top if you can. We will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers.
Cheers.